Good morning. Hi, Alex. So we're just waiting a couple minutes for people to show up for a class, which is starting at 10 o'clock, so I'd love if you wanted to join. If you feel like if you did show up for the class, if you have a bolster or a pillow, anything you can prop yourself up for the seated stillness portion or even lying down, that'd be great. So if you're just hopping on, if you want to grab a pillow or a bolster, and then a nice sacred little cocoon for you to join in on your space. So I know I had some messages from people saying they were going to come to the class with their kids and with their family. So this is going to be a really gentle practice. It's all about easing the mind and coming back into the body. And by coming back into the body, I mean actually pulling and lifting the mind out of the body. So the expired emotions, the overwhelm, the collective conscience that's going on right now. So taking the time to move our bodies. So I'm going to give a couple more minutes. Oh, so fun. Are you going to join us, Alex? Hi. Okay. So we'll wait 2 more minutes. So if you want to gather your props and find a nice little container cocoon for yourself to get started, we'll wait 2 minutes. And while you're waiting, if you want to just find a comfortable seat, so whether that's on a bolster like myself where I have my hips higher than my knees, or you can just come up onto your knees and sit back on your heels. And for those of you that have quite a bit of stickiness in the front of the hips, you can place a bolster or a pillow in between your thighs like a saddle. Okay. So while we're waiting for others to join, just find a comfortable seat. Try to make your space, if you can, as safe and sacred as possible. My family just left for a walk, so we're good for about 45 minutes to an hour on my end. And we'll wait 1 more minute here. And just so you know, these videos, these classes I'm doing every Monday and Wednesday morning until otherwise noted. And they are going to be recorded and put up. Megan Meister! Morning, babe. So they are going to be recorded and put up on my blog every Monday and Wednesday mornings. Just an opportunity as people start self-isolating for you to move the energy of your body and learn how to empower yourself to pull the overwhelm and the anxiety and the collective unconscious out of your body so that you can actually start your day anew. So I'm going to teach you how, through pranayama and a little bit of movement, I can really empower yourself to come back into your body and literally lift and pull unnecessary, dramatic, unfulfilling, pessimistic feelings that aren't necessarily good for us, especially right now. So we'll give it about 30 more seconds if you want to find a mat. For those of you that are new coming on, if you want to grab a bolster or something to get a comfortable seat, that'd be great. We're going to go for about 45 minutes, and we will end with a yoga nidra inspired practice, which is a really wonderful way to systematically relax and calm the nervous system. So before I get started in the next 10 seconds here, hi Danica. I just want to make sure you can hear me. Can you just let me know, give me a wave or a thumbs up if you can hear me? Hello. Hi Danica. So let me know if you can hear me. Yes, okay, awesome. So I was just saying that these will be recorded, so if now is not your time where you have the next 45 minutes to an hour, then you can come back. It's going to be posted on the stories, and then on my website, it's going to be a practice for you. And there's already one up there as well. Okay. Let's get rolling. So find a tall and comfortable seat. Okay. And close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, I want you to begin to notice the sounds around you, the furthest sounds that you can hear. Whether it's birds chirping, cars driving, the muffling of people talking from a distance. And I want you to notice these sounds from far away, and I want you to see and feel. So with your imagination and with elevated emotion and sensation in your body, I want you to draw your awareness back into yourself. So slowly pull all of your awareness from your external environment and take your time over the next 10 breaths to draw all of that awareness back to you. And as you're doing this, you can cup one hand on top of the other with your eyes soft or closed, and you can place it like you're holding a little bit of treasure just below your chest. Bringing all of your awareness back into your body, into yourself. And then tune into the rhythm of your breath. Bring every last drop of your awareness, your attention, onto your breath. Inflate with breath, and as you inflate with breath, see if you can allow your pelvis to get heavier. So you feel this rooting of your pelvis down into the earth. And at the same time, your low back starts to lengthen and liberate, almost like a flower is just seeding and growing out of the soil. So you feel your pelvis rooting down, and then your low back is just slightly lifting and liberating with the breath. And see even here if you can just let something go. You don't have to understand it or know what it is. But see if you can crowd out anything that is not serving you just by your awareness, the beauty of your breath, and being present here right now. And then wherever you are in your breath, exhale all the air out of your lungs. Take a slow, deep inhale breath. Pause at the top. Hold your breath at the top. Be with the nothingness. Don't anticipate going anywhere. Pause. And then exhale, release. Let out an audible sigh. And do that 4 more times on your own. Good morning, everybody. So if you're new to coming on, you're just joining me for my morning practice. We're going to go for about 45 minutes here. And it is going to be recorded, so if now's not your time to join, you can come back later on and it will be up on my website too. So I'm so happy to have you here. Let's practice. So really allowing your breath to be a modality to cleanse and regulate and center and anchor you back into the present moment. Anchor you back into what it is that you know is true for you, and anchor you back into the well of strength that always lives and resides within you, that is this beautiful place of unequivocal peace. So there is just nothing within this well. It is always there. It's timeless, it's universal, and it is yours. So I want you to find that place with your breath. And then you're going to release your hands. Inhale, reach your arms up, look up, palms come together to touch. And then exhale, draw that line of energy from the sky, the heavens, down through your midline with an exhale. And connect your thumbs to your heart. Take a moment to feel the bass, the drumming of your heart. Keep pulling your awareness from your outer environment in, being with the breath, feeling the fluidity and the ease that's available without over-efforting. Release your hands a few more times. Inhale, reach your arms out. So from your heart energy, you're reaching your arms out strong. Out and up. Palms come together to touch, and you pull the energy from the heavens and the sky, and you anchor it back down into your body as you come down through your midline. Into Namaste, the thumbs connect with the heart, shoulders drop away from the ears, inner body's bright. And then 2 more times. Inhale, reach your arms up. Big, beautiful breath. Exhale, come down through center. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale down through center. Now I invite you to join for invocation with the sound of Om. Just one time. And if your kids are with you, because I know some of you messaged me and said your kids will be with you, this is a great tune for them to play, to sing, to chant throughout the day. So all together, take a deep inhale to Om. If you want to plant any seeds for your day, first of all, for yourself, set an intention for you to really feel and own and trust and have faith in the strength that you contain. So the first half of our practice, we're going to dedicate to ourselves, to our strength. And then we're going to move that energy outwards and turn it into a global movement together with a prayer in the second half. Okay. So from here, you release your hands. You're going to shake it out. So for those of you that are new and you're just coming on, this is my morning practice. I haven't been teaching that actively for about 6 years. So this is what I do, and I'm inviting you to come in and join me. It's all about waking up and moving energy, pulling the mind out of the body. So all of those yucky feelings and sensations that are often just trapped by the wiring of our past is a big part of the way that I practice. Okay, from here, you're going to inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, let out a sigh. Okay, you take your left hand, I'm going to mirror you guys. Your left hand, place it down on the ground beside you. You're going to reach your right arm up, palm flips down towards the earth, and then you're going to come over for a nice side bend as you push your right hip crease back and down slightly and take all of your breath into your right lung, but stay nice and buoyant in your left lung. Big side stretch, opening up the side of the body. This is an area of the body that gets really congested in the winter time when we're hibernating. So opening it up with your breath, ballooning, and rather than pulling your arm, use the strength of your awareness to be able to recognize that you can move and pulse a little bit to find the space rather than yanking and trying to pull the tissues away. Take 2 more huge breaths. You can pause and look up as long as you pull the back of your throat long. And then bring your chin to your chest, curl around your spine, walk your hands towards the center, come up through center, inhale, reach your arms out wide and up, palms up, look up, and exhale, come down through to your midline. And then you're going to place your right palm down or come down onto your fingertips, all tented, reach that left arm up, palm faces the ground, And you're going to push your left hip crease back and down as you find space in your side body. Lengthen the back of your throat, pull your chin back, and look up slightly if that feels good. So again, bring your awareness, keep pulling it back into yourself, and notice what is it that you can do without pulling on your body to create more space in the left side of your body. Bring your chin to your chest, round your spine, walk your hands back through center. Push up, reach your arms out wide and up. And exhale. From here, you're going to place your palms in front of you. You can take your bolster or whatever you're sitting on out from you, and you're going to rock forward onto your hands and knees. Hello, everybody. So I'm just inviting you to join me for my morning practice if you just arrived. And if this is now not your time, I'm going to have this on my site for you to do it anytime. So for those of you that are practicing, you're going to come onto all fours. Okay, your wrists are below your shoulders, your knees are below your hip. Actually, bring your knees a little bit back further than your hips. I'll come on the side. And you're going to just start by lifting your feet up off the ground. And you're going to play with swaying side to side. Okay? This is so good for spinal freedom. Okay? And then from here, a lot of what I do is intuitive movement. So as you're doing this, you're going to start to play by imagining that you're in the inside of a tube, okay, or a tunnel, and your rib cage is trying to follow the line of the tunnel. Okay? You're going to activate your breath here, and this is an opportunity to really find your own rhythm. And then start moving in whatever directions for about another 10 breaths feels right and good for you. So curling and rounding your spine, moving your pelvis in circles, twisting your head. Get lost in your movement. Switch the other direction if you haven't yet. Take your time to come back through center. Come up onto all fours, cat-cow, inhale, look up. Lift your sitting bones up. And then exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Push your upper back up, but as you're pushing your upper back up, imagine that the back of your body is fabric and you're draping the fabric. And rather than pushing through it, you're finding a way to make space without pushing through it. So nice and slow movement. And then exhale, curl, look up. Find your own rhythm for 4 more breaths. And then come back through center, tuck your toes, and come up into downward facing dog. I'm just going to move my mat on an angle so you can see. And we're going to flow a couple times. Good morning, everybody. So just making sure, can you still hear me? Jump Wellness, good morning. So from downward facing dog, I want you to step your feet back a little bit further and wider. So take up some space here. Bend your knees, lift your heels high. Okay? And from here, really root into the earth and use a new source of strength from the space of your heart to push into the earth. So there's no effort. You're just recognizing like, wow, like I've got all that strength. And then from here, pull the backs of your knees forward and lift the front of your hips up and back. And then lower your heels slightly and pedal it out. So as you pedal it out, you're going to shift your hips side to side. Lots of bending in the knees. And then relax your head so you begin to create space on the back line of your body. And then come back to your down dog, whatever feels right, and take 2 breaths before we flow. Come high onto your toes, ripple, wave forward, look forward, so you're in plank here, and then lower your knees, exhale, come all the way down onto the floor. Okay. Push your palms back just below and outside of your shoulders, toes are untucked, root your tail back and down as you pull your low belly in, lift up, slightly look up as long as the back of your throat stays long, and then exhale, wave and undulate down, push your knees in, lift your hips up, and come back into child's pose. Knees out wide, heels together, bum to heels, head to floor. Take 2 breaths here. Your next inhale, you're going to ripple, wave forward, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, finding a rhythm, drawing all of your awareness into the sensation of your body without any judgment, just noticing it. Inhale, come high onto your toes, ripple, wave forward, high plank. Lower your knees if you'd like. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes, curl your tail back, low belly in. Inhale, lift up, opening the front of your chest. Exhale, down, push your knees in, hips up, back to child's pose. Lower your floor, connect to your center, take 2 deep breaths. Inhale, come forward, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to move a little bit faster and go through that twice. Inhale, high onto your toes. Inhale, ripple forward. Lower, exhale, chaturanga. Untuck your toes. Inhale, wave. Open up your heart space. Exhale, down. Push into your knees. Child's pose, 1 breath. Inhale, wave forward. Tuck your toes. Child's pose. Downward facing dog. Come high onto your toes. Wave forward. Look forward. Exhale, lower chaturanga to your belly. Untuck your toes. Get nice and long in your body. And then inhale, wave up. Curl goes back. Your tail goes back and down. Low belly up. Open up your heart space. And exhale, lower. Push back. Child's pose. Take 3 breaths here. Inhale, come up high onto your knees. Okay. Take your hands to your hips. You're going to separate your knees a little bit, about as wide as your hips. I'm going to step your right leg forward. So I'm not mirroring you this time. So step your right leg forward without using your hands. And you're going to lunge forward slightly. And as you lunge forward, you're going to take your right sitting bone and pulling it back and in so it hugs to the left inner thigh. From here, you're going to reach your arms up. Soften the shoulders by bending the elbows if you need, and just look up, opening up the front of your body. Root down through your front foot, keep hugging through your midline, pulling all of your awareness back into your body. Exhale, release. Take your hands to your hips, and then push back onto your knees. Bring your hands to your heart. 1 deep breath here. Bring your hands to your hips. Root down through your right knee. Step your left foot forward. Take your time to floss yourself down into low lunge pose. Your left sit bone curls towards or rounds towards your right inner thigh. Root down through your front foot, and when you're ready and you feel spacious and free in your body, you're going to reach your arms up. So letting go of rigidity and tension. Okay, reach your arms up, soften your elbows if your shoulders need it. And then exhale, Opening up the front line of your body, but without compromising the back of your body. Lots of breath. And then exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Push back onto your knees. And then from here, you're going to curl all 10 toes and sit back on your heels. We're going to dive into Kapala body breath, so breath of fire, waking up the Agni, the fire, and burning what is no longer necessary. So I'll just lift my shirt up here so you can see. As we do this, we have our toes curled, so the back line of our body is getting open from the feet. So this is a practice of withdrawing the chaos of the mind that comes often when we're opening up the feet, and just settling into knowing that it's sensation and finding relaxation at the same time. Okay, so you're sitting back, you're going to pull the flesh of your bum back and down. And then you're going to place your hands on your belly and you're going to allow it to just extend like Buddha belly. Like really, really let it relax. And take a moment to acknowledge and say hi to all of the organs and the tissues that lie within the reproductive and the digestive system. Let go of any tension. Now that you're drawing your intention and your awareness back into your body, what is it that you can release just by noticing it? Lots of breath, eyes closed. And then take 2 of the deepest breaths of your week, right down, all the way down into the low belly, pelvic floor area on the front and the back. So when you're ready, take a huge inhale breath. And exhale it out. Do that one more time, but pause at the top of your inhale for as long as you can while it feels peaceful. Deep inhale. Pause, let there be peace and soften in the nothingness. And when you feel the urge, just let out an exhale. And then we're going to dive into Kapala body breath. You're going to inhale, reach your arms out, widen up, interlace all 10 fingers, release your index finger, push your palms together. So nice and strong in the arms. I'm still sitting back on my heels, so if I want to listen to it, my feet are screaming, but I'm ignoring them because I know it's good for them. So I'm using the practice of withdrawing my mind's attention to places where I don't want it to go. So here, you're going to lift your arm bones up and back and settle your shoulders down. Relax the belly. And we're going to go for 30 rounds of Kapala body, which means you're snapping your belly back as you exhale through your nose. Okay, so it's a practice and it's something you definitely want to come back to. So for those of you that are new to it, I want you to acknowledge if you're pregnant or if you have high blood pressure, glaucoma or anything, make sure you really soften the breath here because this can shift blood pressure quite fast. Okay, it's a wonderful practice to increase the heat and the fire and burn off what we do not or no longer need. So relax the belly, take a deep inhale breath to begin 30 rounds. Push all the air to your lungs for the last one. Pause with nothing in your lungs. And then take a deep inhale breath when you're ready. Inflate with breath. pause at the top of your inhale. Lift your arm bones up even more. See if you can let that breath expand your chest. Breathe in even more. And then exhale, release your hands, release the breath. Connect to your center, palms come to your chest. Namaste, thumbs connect to the rhythm of your heart. Open your eyes slightly, come forward, untuck your toes, and then you can kick out those screaming feet. So tap the tops of your feet on the ground. Okay, from here, just move side to side. So for those of you that are new, that just came on, I'm just sharing a simple morning practice, something that I will often do on my own. So I'm sharing it with you guys, and it will be recorded if it's something you want to come back to and now is not your time. So from here, I typically like to leave a lot of space for myself to feel into my body. So right now what it really needs is for the connection of where my pelvis meets my low back on the back and where my lower abdomen meets my mid-abdomen. There's a lot of tension there, and so I can feel that tension more than I did before I started practicing. And so this is a place I want to move because there's a lot of stuck energy there, and so this is how I'm moving it. So for the next minute or so, I invite you to find where that tension lies in your body and to really listen to your body. What is it telling you to do? What is it asking you to do? What does it need? For so long, I taught and I practiced a very kind of rigid form of asana, of yoga. And then about 7 years ago, I recognized that I wasn't listening to my body the way it needed to be listened to. So although I love the form of asana and the skeleton that it offers and the philosophy and the discipline, I also recognized that I needed to embrace more of that raw feminine fluidity, the awareness of going, okay, well, what does my body actually need? So I love, and I always make sure that I create space for that in my classes, which I haven't been doing that much of lately, or my events. So take and find a lot of breath. I'm going to get lost in my movement here for about 30 more seconds. And I invite you to do the same, even if you just dove in and you haven't been doing the class. See if you can listen to your body. Let out any hoots and hollers or sounds, whatever it needs. And notice your eyes and your eye sockets. What do those want to do? How can those relax and let go? Another 10 seconds. And then in the next couple breaths, we'll meet up on your knees with your toes tucked again. And we're going to do one more round of Kapalabhati for 30 breaths. Okay, so tuck all 10 toes, pull the flesh of your bum back so you feel nice and rooted. You're opening up the soles of the feet. Buddha belly, so relax your belly here. Inhale, reach your arms up. Palms come together. Push your palms together as you release your index fingers. Cross your thumbs over. Pull your upper arm bones back and down. Take a deep inhale breath to begin for 30 rounds. And then we're going to do kumbhaka, breath retention or holds at the end. But remember, if you're pregnant or if you suffer from anything that's impacted by sudden changes of blood pressure, I want you to hold off and just do this breath a little less. So pull the arm bones back, take a deep inhale, belly soft. All together, 30 rounds. push all the air out of your lungs, really using the musculature, the fabric of the abdomen to push all the air out. Pause without anything in the lungs. Enjoy that space of nothingness, of emptiness. And when you're ready, inflate with an inhale. And when you inflate with an inhale, keep your arms strong. Lift Mula Bandha, so pulling your pelvic, the muscles of your pelvic floor in and up. Pause at the top of your inhale. Watch everything brighten with breath as you keep drawing and pulling that energy back into your body, containing it and holding it. And when you're ready, exhale, release it out, release the arms. Draw your hands to your heart, namaste, thumbs connect with the chest. Feel the rhythm of your heart, which helps you to come back into the body, withdrawing your senses from the environment, coming back to yourself. This is a practice of knowing that we have the power to not be victims of our environment, always coming back to this place of steadiness, of stability, of strength and fluidity and peace within. Take a couple breaths here. And then rock forward, shake out those feet. Woo! Tap them on the floor. And then you're going to come back onto your knees, place your hands onto your hips, root down through your left leg, step your right foot forward. Come into a low lunge and just floss it out. And as you floss it out, rather than thinking about pushing your hip bones forward, I want you to think about finding some undulations in your spine at the same time. And for me, I like to do this with my arms. It's a reminder of what I want to reflect in my spine. So I'm really digging into my front heel and using that as leverage to kind of cat-cow my way through as I floss through low lunge. I'm going to go a few more times. Feeling so good on the low back. Opening up the upper back, the neck. And then find your place in center. Reach your arms out to the side. And then bring your right arm under your left arm for eagle arms. Wrap your palms so they're facing and connected if you can. Lift your elbows up, palms away from you slightly, and then pull your shoulder blades up and back so you can open up the back of the body. And look up if that's available. Lots of breath. Now bring your low belly to your spine, round forward, and draw your elbows to the front of your right knee. And then bring your chin to your chest. Curl your tailbone down towards your back knee pit and round your back as much as you can. And then unravel your arms, tent them beside your front foot, and they're going to pull your right knee back so that it stacks in front of your left knee. So Garudasana legs. And from here, you're going to slowly sit back. And if you need your prop or your pillow to sit on for this deep hip opener, go ahead. Just want you to pause, place your hands on your knee. Front knee, and find your breath. So even though we're still here, I want you to use this stillness as an opportunity to, again, really dive into the consciousness of your hips and see what is it that they need right now. So just like a mountain, when you look at a mountain from afar, it's really still. But if you think about the amount of life and activity that's going on, I want you to think about your hips in that way. So rather than being this like kind of big dead weight that you just feel, see if you can really get so masterful in your awareness of what is really going on in those hips. And just acknowledging the sensation and noticing it and breathing into it, even if there's discomfort. Just say hello. Often just the hello, the acceptance of it being there will soften the tension itself. place your right fingertips, tent them beside you about a foot or so, and then reach that left arm up and out. Overhead, palm faces down. Push that left hip crease back and down slightly as you again open up the side of your body. Get the back of your neck long, the throat feels spacious as you pull your chin slightly in. An option to look up a little bit, or for myself, I like to play with the range of motion of my neck, just a little bit here. So again, I always will invite you to do whatever feels right if there's something your body is telling you to do. A couple more huge breaths here, breathing in your favorite smell. And come up through center. Pause and center for a moment with both of your fingertips tented by your side. Relax your shoulders, the skin of your forehead softens, and everything on your body, especially your face, gets even rounder with 2 more breaths. And then tent your fingertips on the left, reach that right arm up, sweep it up. Get so much buoyancy and lift and space in the right side of your body. Use that right lung to open up the tissue and the fabric on the right side of your body as you push your right hip crease back and down. Back of your throat gets nice and long and spacious. Option to look up or just play with the mobility of your neck here, ever so slightly. And then inhale up. Pause and center for a moment. Okay, and you have 2 options to get out of this, the exit strategy. One is you can walk your fingers forward if that's comfortable for you, or you can lean back, unravel your legs, and we're going to meet on all 4s. From all 4s, you're going to lift your toes, your feet off the ground, separate your knees a little bit wider than your hips, and you're going to windshield your feet, your hips, your rib cage, your shoulders, and your eyes and your gaze, side to side. And as you do this, I want you to start to find a pulse and a rhythm that feels really natural and good to you with your breath. So my breath is going to increase about another 10 breaths here. Lots of movement and fluidity in the spine, windshielding. And take your time to come back through center. For those of you that just came on, I'm sharing my morning practice, and there will be a recording after if you want to join. You can join in from here because it's really simple and safe for the body. Okay, coming onto all 4s, you're going to push back, come high onto your knees, hands to your hips, find your center for a moment. Take a deep inhale breath. Exhale from the energy of your pelvis, root down, and then liberate the spine up. So find this connection earth to sky. Pelvis rooting down and the rest lifts up. Feel the strength with your breath, inner body bright, hands to hips. Root down into your right knee, and you're going to step your left foot forward. And then we're going to floss and go through the same sequence on this side. So flossing your legs, you're not pushing anything. You're using the intelligence of your awareness to find this fluidity, to find space, to move in a new way, to break movement patterns which reflect thought patterns. So invite freedom of movement and try moving in a different way. And then from here, if you want, you can place your hands on your knees, or you can do what I do, and I start to find a rhythm an undulation in my spine as I'm flossing the hips. So it's almost like cat-cow as I'm flossing into low lunge. This is opening up a lot of the tissue in the back of my body, and at the same time I'm using my core as I curl and round back. Lots of breath. One more time, I'm going to pause. Find that place in low lunge. Hug to the midline so the left sitting bone creeps and starts to kiss the right inner thigh. Reach your arms up. And then exhale, ravel the right or the left arm underneath the right arm. Eagle arms, elbows come up. Palms push away from the face. Okay, and then pull those shoulder blades up and back slightly, opening up the front of the body. An option to lift up and back ever so slightly with a lot of breath. So the goal is to find freedom in the body. Strength will come second. Freedom in the body and freedom in the breath. Okay, pull your belly button to spine, round up. And then you're going to start to hinge forward, rounding your back, especially your low back, mid back, upper back, so all of your back, even your neck, and then hooking your elbows in front of your knee and using that as leverage to pull your left hip bone back and pulling the fabric of your spine long. Tuck your chin to your chest and lots of breath here. Pulling all of your awareness back into your body, into your center. And then unravel your arms, release your fingertips to the ground, and then drag that heel back so you're crossing your left knee in front of your right knee. Okay, heels stay out wide and curl your toes slightly towards your shins to protect your knees. And you're going to come back onto your sits bones, either on a bolster or the ground. Okay, hip opener. Pause into the consciousness of your hips and greet it and say hello. Greet them and say hello. And then scan your entire body and notice if there's anything that you can let go. The more that you practice, even just from the beginning, for those of you that joined me from the beginning to now, there's often not even just a subtle shift, but a pretty grand shift in our ability to really notice what's going on inside. So this is the ideal outcome of any practice, is becoming so aware of our inners that we get really masterful at navigating our internal terrain. Take your hands to your knees and just enjoy the consciousness of your hips, greeting all sensation, no matter how you identify it. Just accept what's there and allow the acceptance to be the bridge to soften the tissues. Two more huge breaths here as you're rooting down through the pelvis into the earth. The spine stays liberated and free. Exhale, let out a sigh if it's in you. And then take your right fingertips, tent them on the ground beside you, about a foot out beside you. Pull that right arm bone back, so upper arm bone back, and then reach your left arm up, nice and fluid. So soften the elbow if you need to soften the shoulders. And then push that left hip crease back and down as you find almost all of your breath in the left lung to open up the side of your body. Pull the back of your throat long, an option to turn your eyes and their sockets up towards the sky, or find fluidity and range of motion and your own pace in the way that you erupt by moving your neck ever so slightly. Bring your chin to your chest, round your upper back, walk your hands out in front of you, and then push up into center for a moment. Bring your hands to your heart, namaste, thumbs to chest. Take a deep breath. And then the other side, so your left fingertips come out to the side, tent those fingertips, bring the upper arm bone back, and then reach the right arm up, softening the elbow, lowering the shoulder. Freedom is the goal here, so not pulling on the body, getting really, really intelligent in the way that you listen to your body to open it up. If you pull on your body, you're just going to increase and elevate the sympathetic system, which will release more and more cortisol, so that's not in our favor. We have enough of that right now. So bring all of your breath into your right lung. Make it so buoyant like a balloon. Imagine I could see it lifting and sinking with your breath. And as you do that, push your right hip crease back and down. So you're really rooting it into the earth and you're opening up that hip crease, giving it the opportunity for space and freedom, more space and freedom than you probably have all winter long. Take a couple deep breaths here. Lengthen the back of your throat. Option to gaze and roll your eyes up, or just freely erupt and move your neck in a way that feels good and right for you with lots of breath. Tuck your chin to your chest, round your upper and mid back, and walk your hands through center, push up, and bring your hands to your heart. Namaste, or one palm on top of the other. Take a couple deep breaths. And then option one, hands come forward, rock forward to all fours, or you can come back and uncross your legs. Uncross your legs. And again here, take the time now to circle those hips and move them in a way that feels right and good. So for those of you that are new and you just joined the practice, a lot of what I do in my morning for any practice is I create a lot of space for intuitive eruption and movement. So you'll see that I don't give a lot of instruction in between the more static poses. So lots of breath. Get lost in your movement and create a rhythm that you want to set for your day. Following this, we're going to do about 5 minutes of pranayama, and then I'm going to guide you through a short nidra practice. So for those of you that just arrived, if you want to get ready and set yourself up for a nidra practice, which is basically shavasana, guided shavasana, then set up your space and we'll be there in about 5 minutes. So feel the freedom in your rib cage, your neck, and even notice your gaze in your jaw. Relax it, release it, give it space to express. Move your eyes in different directions. Look under your arms, in between your thighs, and just find this primal movement that your body most likely craves to feel and do. Two more breaths. Okay, then from here, grab your bolster, or if you don't need a bolster, it's all good. And we're going to come to seated. We're going to be seated for about 5 to 6 minutes. So find your center. Place your left arm underneath your right armpit, so that's hugging your right rib cage, and then hug your right arm over top of your left shoulder. So you're giving yourself a big hug, and close your eyes This is an option or an opportunity to self-soothe, contain your energy. But as you do this, grow into the emotions of freedom, grow into and elevate the emotions of joy. And if you need a sense of safety, see if you can see if just this simple gesture can contain what it is that you feel you need. And then release your hands. Place your hands on your thighs. Make sure you're nice and comfortable. So if you can avoid movement beyond the breath for the next 5 minutes, that would be good. It's pretty key. But of course, if you're ever uncomfortable, then just shift, shape shift. So you can be sitting on a chair, the side of your bed, on a bolster, with your back propped against the wall, whatever you need here. So now we're going to do a breath that I've been doing for probably about 3 years, inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza, where we're actually pulling the mind out of the body. So there's a lot to go into it, and I'll share more later on. But if you think about it, our bodies are storage containers. They are wired based off the past. And so if we don't take the time to liberate the past and pull it out of our body, the cellular memory, the wiring of our nervous system, if we don't labor in this way, then we will constantly be living by records of the past, rather than creating and co-creating and living into future experiences that we want to create. So much of us will know that we tend to kind of get slipped up and caught up in the same old day-to-day, whether it's bad or good or anything in between. There is this repetitiveness that comes into life, especially in our late 20s. Okay, so if you want to labor and pull out of your past and be a new human being, pulling the mind out of your body, then this is a wonderful breath to do before the Yoga Nidra, which we're going to do. Okay, so find a tall seat and tap into your breath. And as you do this, I just have to check time on one thing. So build into your center with your breath. Hi, Amy, Jen. And wherever you are in your breath, exhale all the air out of your lungs. Take a deep, slow inhale breath. Inflate the tissues around your rib cage with your inhale. Pause at the top and exhale, release. Now from here, we're going to start the breath, and what it involves engaging all the musculature to squeeze the line of energy that kind of sits and hunkers down in the lower chakras, the lower centers of the body, and we're going to pull that mind, that energy up out of the body by pulling it up through the spine, the Sushumna Nadi, and all the way up to hover over the head so we can allow it to enter the field, the quantum field. And so the way that we do this physically is we draw our genitals towards our bum, and like a jellyfish, we draw it together and then we lift it up. And this initiates a contraction of the low belly and the low belly and the low back muscles, and then the rib cage, and everything squeezes in as if just like toothpaste, we're lifting and pulling the energy all the way up over the head. And then we're going to pause and hold the breath for 30 seconds to a minute. And then we're going to release it, but we're going to contain that elevation of energy. So from here, pulling the mind out of the body, just like a jellyfish, pull your genitals towards your bum, and then lift and pull all of that energy, lift and squeeze it up all the way through the midline. Imagine it, that you can see it as you feel it, pulling it up through the chest, through the throat, all the way up to the brain stem, the center of the brain, and up over the head. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling. And then pause at the top of your inhale and watch that energy just fully dissolve and move out into the field beyond your physical body. Keep holding your breath. Keep lifting the energy up. Hold the breath. And then exhale, release. And when you release, keep feeling that energy that you lifted over the crown of the head. We're going to do this 3 more times. So pulling the mind out of the body like you mean it. Pulling the genitals towards the bum. And then squeezing that energy, the past, out of your body by pulling this energy up. Liberating the energy up. That stuff that gets you sunk down into your lower ground. It makes you feel lethargic. Pull it up and out. Lift it all the way up through the center of your chest. Through the throat. Through the brainstem. The brain and over the crown of the head, and release and open it up to the fields. Pause and hold at the top of your inhale. Pause, hold, squeeze more of the musculature to lift even more energy up from the body, all the way up over the crown of your head, and then exhale, release. And we'll do that 2 more times. Squeezing the pelvic floor, lifting and seeing that energy, drawing low belly, low back muscles in, squeezing it all the way up. Inhaling, 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 watching that energy, pulling it up. Try to get that energy out of the body and over the crown of the head so you can release it into the field. Keep inhaling, inhaling, inhaling all the way to the top. Hold. And then release the effort of your physical body, but keep the breath in. Stay liberated. Inner body is bright and spacious and full. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Hold. And then exhale, release. One last time, squeeze the pelvic floor, draw and lift that energy all the way up by using the muscles. Pull, 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 pull. Watch the energy lift up. Give it permission to hang out through the crown of the head and then being released into the fields. Pause at the top of the inhale. Lift more energy up. Squeeze it up. Pause for about 10 more seconds. Relax the body. Be right here. Don't expect to release the breath. Just enjoy being present right here. Stay connected to the fields. Lift the energy up even more. And then exhale, release. Just bathe in the laboring of your breath. Notice the choice you have to contain that energy that you just shifted. Because there's no way that if you just did that breath that something couldn't have shifted. So notice the shift, whether it's subtle or grand, and just be with it. Notice the sensations of your body. And in this place of stillness, which bridges our ability to be more conscious, more in the state of love, see if you can just scan your body and release any stories, any tension, any efforting that no longer serve you for the next 10 breaths. Bring your hands to your heart, either namaste or place one palm on top of the other. Bow your head to your heart. So a gesture that acknowledges, finally, I'm dropping out of the mind and into the intelligence, the space of the heart. Lots of breath. Your next inhale, lift your chin away from your chest. And then we'll close the class by acknowledging the greater, the global consciousness, our global family. And we'll acknowledge the fact that all of our thoughts, words, and actions play and have an impact in the ripple effect of how that we all come together. And so Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu is a mantra that I'm going to play for you. And we're just going to lay and bathe in stillness. You can either lie in Shavasana or you can stay in a seated pose. And I want you to just bathe in the mantra for the next 5 minutes or so. So set yourself up in a comfy place so you can bathe in this mantra. And for those of you, we had a tech difficulty, so the last class got canceled out. And so for those of you that come back, we're back here now. This is such a beautiful mantra, and if you can just allow, there are no barriers for sound to come through. So if you can just find a place of stillness and allow this mantra to really receive, be really receptive to this mantra, I invite you to do that with your whole heart for the next 5 minutes, whether that's seated or whether that's lying on the ground. So I'm going to prepare you for that. And then I'm going to slowly turn off the live, and we're going to end it there so that you can do whatever it is that you need to do. So I'm going to say namaste now, and I'm sending you all so much love and so much protection, and know that if you keep moving your body and you come back to this place of empowerment where you contain and you pull this energy back into yourself, while at the same time liberating expired memories of the past, which is basically what our bodies contain. They are a computer system of our past. So if we actively labor in getting through and dispelling these things, we will be able to get through it. Not only get through it, but get through it with a sense of rising, of liberation, of healing on both a personal and a collective level. So I'm offering you my light as I give it back to myself, and I'm sending you all so much love. So let's enjoy this mantra together.
Loka
So my family's coming home. I'm going to post that mantra if you want to keep listening to it. Sending you so much love. Stay in that space. Bye, y'all.